Okay guys, I actually had a couple issues with this 185 new reef tank. Um, a lot of the issues are with the sump. I added the water, the RODI water with salt, and added the dry rock and the sand on Sunday. Today is late Thursday night, and it cleared up somewhat. It's still pretty foggy, pretty hazy up in here. You can actually see the rocks now, but before it was, it is hazy. If the camera doesn't pick it up, I apologize. But the heater is set at 78 degrees to turn on, and with just the two pumps I get 80.6. I want it to be around 78, but I'm told that if I put some fans down in here to cool off the water into the sump, and maybe some up in here in the canopy itself, that it'll get down to be, a couple degrees down and be right at 78. Originally, I had this Pan World 200, which is 17 gallons per hour, on the sump, and it's too strong for this sump. This 3616 ecosystem sump is, has a range of 1200 gallons per hour to 1500 gallons per hour, and that one was just too big. Even if I dialed down the ball valves and played around for a while, it was way too strong. It would, the video beforehand you saw, it would shoot up into these corner ones here. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, way too strong, too much whirlpools, everything else like that. I did fix one of the whirlpool problems though. If you point the nozzle a lot, straight going this way, and the one in the back going across the back, you don't have that problem anymore with the whirlpools. So that's one good thing. I also had to kind of rearrange the rock, as you might notice from the last video, to put these three here, so when the flow comes down and in, it hits the rock and doesn't just toss the sand all over into the corners and whatnot. But that also, back to the sump. I added a couple things too. After I put this 1200 gallon per hour sump here onto this, it helped a lot with the flow. It didn't suck so much out of there that I wouldn't have enough. The water level here would, drop way down to, like, just above that bulkhead, and I'd get a whirlpool going on in there. So that's one thing. So yeah, it was too big. Sorry if I keep repeating myself. I also got this MaxiJet 1200 that is going to feed this reactor. This is from Bulk Reef Supply. It's their dual reactor. One part is GFO, one part is carbon, and you can see a little bit of tumble in the back. And this one too. And there's this valve here that you can kind of gauge in how much you want. You don't want it to be crazy, tumbling around. You do want it to actually have time for the water to hit up on it and take all the phosphates out of there and go that route. Go to bulkreefsupply.com, and there is a calculator on there. I figured with this being a 185 and this sump being, I don't know, 40, 30, I just typed in 200, and it told me, to put in a cup and a half of phosphate reactor and a cup and a quarter of carbon. So that's the sump part of it. I also added this just a, I don't want to call it a sock. I don't actually remember the name of it. Just like, some sponge filter on it. to help with all these micro bubbles that the sock isn't getting up. So the bio balls, you know, the bio balls are a pain in the ass. I gotta say, you know, I hear you with the wet dry part over here. You'll get some of that bacteria on the top and whatever, but you do a water change, okay? You turn this pump off and you do a water change. Water level down in here raises all the way up, you know, like to here, and these bio balls just float up, and then whatever's on top of this is just going to get into chamber 2, and it's going to be a pain in the ass. So what I'm probably going to do, because there's not enough bio balls to put in chamber 1, and it's a bunch of, you know, big nutrient or nitrate problem, you know, I'll probably take that that filter media there, put it in here, this chamber 3, to help with all these micro bubbles. Because if you can still see, I mean, I get micro bubbles going in, and I'm gonna have a ton going up into the tank. Put that into there, and then just replace this here with probably some live rock, or I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do with that, because I still get a good amount of micro bubbles off of this sock. Yeah, when the Cheetos in here, the Cheeto algae that's supposed to grow in here along with the mud, that'll help with the bubbles when it, you know, it flows through those slots. You know, it'll help through for the bubbles. That'll take care of some of it. And then I don't know yet, but you know, I still probably want to put a I'll have to play around with that too. So the last thing that I gotta add to is a UV sterilizer. Now I don't think that I'm going to have it run through that to go up into my tank. They make ones that JBJ makes one that's like a 13 watt. They say is good enough for a 150 gallon tank, that I'll probably put in chamber 1 here, stick it up against the wall, and you know, it has its own pump on it, so don't have to worry about that, and just let it, you know, suck in, shoot out, and then go through chamber 2, 3, and then out. So we'll see how that all goes. Gotta wait, gotta dial this down in, and go from there. I hope that I'm doing this right, because last night I thought I had everything all dialed in, and this is on the 1200 Pan World 150, but you know, it woke me up because I heard that the water level got so low on this 1200 that, you know, that too made a sucking noise, you know, going in and going out. So, you know, I added like 10 quarts. That red bucket back there, I had it added into the chamber 3, and then it was okay when I got home today, but you know, I added probably another, I don't know, gallon or 2 into this, just to make sure to bring this up a little higher. So I shouldn't have a problem if we do lose power again for this thing overflowing, because we lost it today and it got up to right about here. So we should be alright. I just want to make sure, you know. Alright. So that's where it's at. And I'm still having fun. It's just, you know, waiting for everything to clear up in here. And next time it's about time to buy a light for this. I am going to go with an LED do-it-yourself light. Stick around for that videos. Thanks a lot.